And I wanted to have like the flexibility and the freedom to bring those families together and to like spend time with both sides. So that's how I stumbled upon real estate. That was 2019. And through Bigger Pockets, after a lot of research, I bought my first single family home, and I was excited. I was like, wow, this is amazing. With me having my family and like all my friends and family are still in Germany. So I tried to figure out a way to bring, and my wife's American, like her family's in Wisconsin. So we have like one family in Wisconsin, the other one is in Germany. And I wanted to have like the flexibility and the freedom to bring those families together and to like spend time with both sides. So that's how I stumbled upon real estate. That was 2019, and through Bigger Pockets. And after a lot of research, I bought my first single family home, and I was excited. I was like, wow, this is amazing. Because in Germany, there's no real estate investing because the prices are so inflated. So usually people inherit a house from their grandparents and they rent that out or something, but they don't actively buy houses. So I was like, wow, this could be it. Like this could be the freedom for me to be in both continents. But then I realized that it takes forever. Like you have to buy like a house maybe every 6 months, 12 months, and then you need a bunch of houses to get to financial freedom. So I started looking into multifamily because a lot of people in podcasts and everywhere, they talk about, oh, you need to scale it, you need to scale it. So, and then Michael, back then he didn't have that much of a social media presence, but I think I found him through some people that mentioned him in some forums. And I bought the syndicated deal analyzer, the big Excel sheet, just for me to, because I'm an engineer, so I love numbers and like analyzing, and I have a very analytical mind. So I was like, this is something that I could practice and maybe bring value to somebody. And then just started playing around with it and talking to a lot of people, networking a lot. And then one of those people that I stayed in contact with over the years turned out to be my now mentor. And I analyzed like some deals for him and just like played around with different analyzing tools or spreadsheets. And over time, he asked me like, why are you doing this? Like, what is your goal? And I told him my whole family situation, like what my goal is to have like financial freedom. And he was like, you know what, we should work on a deal together, and I can bring you in as a GP, and you've been doing great work in the past couple of years, so I know that you're reliable. And that's how he brought me on to our first deal, and we actually closed on it like 3 weeks ago.
Dang, you're brand new. 3 weeks ago. Congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
always remember your first. And I'm telling you, you will, it's going to just be uphill from here. Uphill, downhill. What the hell? I'm losing my mind. After you close your first deal, so many doors are going to open, hence an interview with us and all of this. So congratulations. I hope you celebrated that win.
I did, yeah, with some sleepless nights, but
oh my goodness. So with Michael, and so it sounds like you've heard from him through some of the forums and Blue Pockets, the forums. I can't tell if the coffee's coming or going at this point. Goodness gracious. I'm like scrambling over my words here. So through Blue Pockets, there was forums, you heard his name come up, the syndicated deal analyzer. That's how I also was connected with him, was through his analyzer. I started looking into like, who is this guy? I'm putting all of our eggs in one basket, doing our deals based off his analyzer. Who is this guy, right? So that being said, are you comfortable? How are you doing this? You have a wife, and honestly, marriages and relationships are a full-time job. You have a baby, Zoe, who is 6 months old, and you have a W-2 that you're still active in, and you were also an active investor. So how are you managing all of these things that are all priorities while keeping your sanity intact?
And that's a very good question. Well, it's a very unsexy answer, and that is the real estate investing and the like doing the real estate is my hobby. I don't have any, well, I do like fitness and running and stuff, but that's just to get like a little bit of a clear mind, but that is my hobby. So I use like every minute that I have working on that at night and on the weekends. So that's how I make time.
I like it. I like it. So what's your goal with this journey? I know you mentioned, essentially you have a global family, right? So you have family in Wisconsin, your wife's family, you have family in Germany. So in a perfect world for Andi, what would you like to see in the next 2, 3, 5 years? Do you have a 3 or 5 year plan? What is your end all be all goal for this journey?
So the end all be all goal would be that my wife and I don't have to work W-2 jobs anymore, so that we can choose living in different areas, preferably not the winter in Germany because they're horrible there. But to be able to spend time there and not be limited by, I only have this many PTOs left, we have to leave at that time, or only travel during, my wife's a teacher, so only travel during like summer break. So that is the ultimate goal. Timeline wise, I would love to see that happen within the next 5 years, but I don't put too much pressure on it because you mentioned it earlier, life happens and you never know. Like anything beyond 2 years is really hard to predict. You can work at it, it might happen faster, it might happen like slower, but I'm in there for the long haul, so I don't care if it takes 3 years or 7 years.
I love that. I love that. Good answer. Good answer. Because I'm always telling people, whether it's on these interviews or when I am meeting up with them, life's not perfect. I always joke around. You don't see the duct tape holding everything together on the back end, or me running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to get things together. Like we were chatting before at the start of the call, and my daughter had to come home sick, and I was just wrapping up another podcast outside, and it's 100 degrees outside and I'm sweating ducats. I'm like, now I gotta look pretty for Andi and set this up inside my house now. And I got here by the skin of my teeth, but y'all, life is not perfect. And he mentioned that his baby's sleeping. Zoe is asleep. So she wakes up because I'm so loud coming through the speaker. She gets to join us. And in a weird way, I kind of hope she does. So I might speak up even louder. So were you comfortable talking about money? Because I don't know, and I'm going to pause for a second. What was the value of the first deal? I want to hear about your deal. How many units? What did you have to raise? And piggybacking off of that, were you comfortable discussing money? A lot of people have a hard time talking about money and millions of dollars. Let's hear about that side of the house here.
So first, about the deal that we just closed on, it's an 86 unit. It's in Arkansas, and we got it under contract for $3 million. And we had to raise like 1.35 million for it. So, and to answer your question, me personally, I don't have any problem speaking about money. I think that's the little German coming through. Like we're very direct and very open, so I don't have any issues. However, what you mentioned, the being uncomfortable when the amounts or the sums sound so big, like millions of dollars, we need to raise this much. Oh, somebody's wiring $100,000. It's, if you can accustom yourself to a number just being a number, and it doesn't really matter how many zeros are at the end, then with that point of view, it takes the pressure off, and it just, like, you can look at it in a very neutral, non-emotional way.
I like that. I like that very much. So that being said, you took down this deal earlier with somebody that you were in contact with, who was a mentor, who you then did a deal with. Help our audience understand the value of partnerships as opposed to going at it alone, and what your journey looked like from that perspective.
Yeah, so first of all, knowing people, that's all that it is. That's everything. So there's probably like a handful of people out there, the 2 or 3 of you, that can do everything. They can do everything. But most realistically, we all only have 24 hours in the day, and I can't be in Arkansas and here in California with my family. So you need other people. That's the beauty of it, because a lot of people, like you can accomplish so much more. So having, or I should specify a little more, having the right people is everything, because that's what those relationships always come down to: reliability, or what, in my experience, reliability and shared values and principles. So you need to, it's basically colleagues that you have to, or that you can choose, or you should choose.
I love that you go, sorry, go ahead.
There's like no, if you imagine you're at your W-2 job and you could choose your colleagues, go about that. You would choose people that you get along with, and you would probably choose people that can get stuff done. You would not choose a grumpy person that you hate when you wake up and you're like, gosh dang it, I need to see this person again. And then at the end of the day, it is reliability and like the work ethic that people need to share, or have like similar values, to not get into bigger problems.
I love that you said that. That is why you saw me getting all excited over here in my chair, like, yeah, because I tell that to everybody that I meet. I go, listen, I go, I've been in the corporate world. I always say hard time corporate world. So for 20 years, this space, I get to choose my people. I get to choose my tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I say that all the time. I'm like, you get to choose those you surround yourself with. If I don't like you, you're a difficult investor. I'm like, you know what? Sorry, this is not going to be the deal for you. Or a GP, or anything for that matter. Your due diligence partners, your sec attorneys, your contractors that help you with value adds, if that's your space, right? You know, you get to choose the people. And that's something I try to push for people, is because people bring different energies into a room, and you hit the nail on the head. I never wake up when I'm on this side of the journey dreading anything, because the people in this ecosystem are absolutely phenomenal and inspiring to me. And I can do this for hours. There's a quote, I think, I don't know if it's from Elon Musk or whatnot, that says, you know what, I'd rather work 80 hours on my own business and 40 hours with somebody else. And part of that is that some of the people you work with can be very difficult, you know? So kudos to you for recognizing that, because so many people don't even see that as a benefit. When the people you surround yourself with, that is you. You are the company you keep. So kudos to you for recognizing that. What would you say to people who are on the fence? You know, those that are, so let me pause. One, for a brand new person, super green, what are the first few things they should do? And two, what do you say to people who are on the fence if they're interested?
Well, first of all, what I would do, or what I would recommend people do, is learn about yourself. Because if you learn about yourself, you get to know who you are, you get to know your strengths and weaknesses, and that will help you identify what your value can be. And even if you're like, and I was like that too, I was like, I have no idea, this is like completely new for me. Like, how can I bring value to somebody? It's a how question. So for a how question, you can always figure it out. You can always learn, you can always improve in a certain section to bring value. And it shouldn't be a weakness that you're trying and trying and trying and make it miserable to get a little better. Just focus on your strengths. And with that, there's always people complementary to you. So if you have strengths and you develop them, then you will bring value. And even if it's just character values, like I mentioned, dependability, reliability, being on time when there's meetings. If you just want to listen in, if you just want to talk to people, be there early, be polite, be courteous. Just those things. You wouldn't believe how very few people have that or show that. And once you find that, then real estate is a very long-term business. So once people, like you said, like if you find your rock stars, the people that you want to hang out with, the people that you want to work with, you usually do that. Why would you try to find somebody else if you found the person that is awesome?